This is the review of the Gnu Gremlin. We rode this with the Core Pro. We rode it with the Adidas Tactical ADVs. All right, here's the quick skinny for you while you watch us ride. The Gnu Gremlin is a slightly shorter, mid-wideish tapered directional board with a pretty deep and turny side cut. It has a little bit of early rise before the nose, passive rocker between the feet, and camber pretty much all the way to the tail. It's got a semi-catchy feel to it that prefers you to be on your game. It grips in hard snow really well, but grabs a bit in soft snow. If you're a size 9 like Peter and I won't turn super quick edge to edge in tight spots. However, once you get that edge set, it accelerates into a turn and springs out of the turn really well. With a little extra back foot weight, it's also far from afraid of a circle carve. It seems like there's pretty decent float if you want to set it all the way back on a POW day too. We all like the Lost Quiver Killer 154 a little better at this demo, but overall it's a pretty fun free ride to alternative free ride, one board quiver that does better in hard snow than the Lost. And to get into sizing, looks a little wide over the front and kind of wide over the back. You can kind of see there. But yet, I felt like this 55 matched up really well with me. I think this would be the size I would want for my size 9s and my 185 LBS.
I think I'd want to go up one.
Yeah.
It's 106 feet, 165.
11s.
11s.
How are your 11s doing with this width?
They're pretty good. Just a little washout if I go too far over on my toes.
Little drag?
Yep.
And you?
Size felt perfect for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And then camber profile. Looks like there's a lot of camber, very camber dominant, but a little bit of early rise in the nose, maybe a touch in the tail. And what's up, boys? And it had some, a pretty locked in feel, but not terribly locked in, especially coming from the snake kink. That to me felt way more locked in than this. This had just a little touch of forgiveness that takes it down a notch from that full camber feel, where it feels kind of semi-locked in, but not terrible, like okay to skid turns. Not ideal, but okay. And I felt that was like kind of maybe really strong intermediate, but still more advanced expert kind of thing. And felt, good locked in, tracked well. You guys?
A churn I did not skid, but the board felt wide. Mid.
I was,
and so we did.
My little radius turns I was skidding out, but it might have been that I was centered over the board and not finishing off that turn quite well on the back foot. Just on the little turns on my toe side.
And the flex is kind of
got towards medium and shit.
Yeah,
that was better.
I saw you butter it, which was actually surprising. I saw you actually get that nose kind of up there, and I saw Jimbo not really able to butter it.
I like this butter. It was butterable.
Yeah.
Jimbo even made a comment halfway going down the run going, I can't butter this.
I think it's because I was on a snowboard.
Oh, yeah, and I kind of buttered it
At the
flat.
beginning of the trail, I did a little bit better.
Yeah.
When you're on a cat track.
And this has good pops,
Speed's
good
in your
energy.
favor.
I mean, Mervin has this kind of like, it feels like they're enhancing the wood and make it pop more. It feels woody. You know what I mean? Where a lot of other boards have a lot of kind of interesting dampening tech that feel like they mask the wood personality underneath. This has that wood spring to it that I like. Everybody has different preferences, but I like that feel about that board. And then, to take it from there with speed, and the base felt good. I love all black bases like this with just a little die cut, so they're super easy to repair. The base had good glide. It seemed to want to pick up speed well, especially in the conditions. But that's like what Mervin boards do a lot. They're really good in that middle ground. They don't ever have low lows, and they never have real super glidey highs, but you can wax this and get this to go. I felt it was damp enough at speed, and I felt it was good enough to turn through bumps and kind of power over stuff, but not as well as maybe turning, but it's still pretty good. What about you guys?
It feels super. To me, it feels very damp. It has that classic Mervin dampness to me going through going through uneven snow. I had a decent time with it going at high speed, even through kind of a stickier snow. Definitely didn't feel like any slouch in that category.
Yeah. Went pretty good through variable snow for myself as well, around the just off the side of the trail or through the snow that people have already been skiing through a lot, where those ruts have been forming and stuff from other snowboarders and skiers.
Yeah, on some of the micro bumps, I felt it, like I saw it chattering, and I felt it chattering, but it didn't feel like it was coming up through. And I like that. And then edge hold, very good grip, but not like the snake kink. That felt like a step above. But you can see there's pretty good magnet traction here.
Pretty solid magnet traction here.
Yeah, and there's there's some grip. This feels like it was properly detuned though, where the snake kink might have just come out fresh. But anyways, carving, turn initiation. I felt it was medium quick. I felt like I could get back and forth, and I love that feel. It liked a little bit of that back foot weight like you do when you're turning on a surfboard under the lip. Like it felt a little bit of that, and but yet it wasn't too back footy. And I just loved how it powered through a turn, and you could just kind of lean back into it, and it would spring out, and you could just get some back weight on that, get some weight on the back foot and just really drive out of that turn, and then bring that weight forward again.
Suited for a surfer kind of style.
Yeah, I felt like I was surfing a little bit. Like I could get that front foot drive, get that bottom turn going, and then turn off the top of the lip. I liked the way this turned. I felt like it was dynamic, lively, quick, and fun.
Other team surfer Pete?
I didn't feel that as much as you did. It felt to me a little mid-widey, a little slow in the turns, and just didn't have like this super, but like real locked in on the edges and felt very secure and stable in my turns, but just not, wasn't wasn't singing to me.
And powder, I feel like there seems to be a decent amount of setback on board. You got a little bit of early rise. I think it could work pretty well. I think it's not going to blow your mind. It's not going to be a dedicated powder board. Again, I'd rather be out on the Bird. There's more early rise on the Bird that I have in 59 than there is in this 55. But I think it's going to be a pretty competent powder board, and I think it's like, that's what I think would be good about this board if you lean more on the directional side and you like a setback, real directional ride, but not super directional, where you still have some tail for air and such like that. You can ride powder, you can ride groomers, you can ride hard snow. You can kind of do a little bit of everything with this board. If you're like me, I think you might really like it. If you're like Peter, I don't know. It might not be the board for you, it sounds like. So I think that's it, boys. You want to take her home?
Yeah, maybe for a couple days. Let's see.